Yokoso Game Gramae. I'm Tom, and today we're playing Pokemon in Japanese. Once again, finally. It's been a couple weeks, but we are back on track. Sorry about the couple weeks. So get ready to make some notes. Let's try to learn some things. Just some quick notes before we begin. I've uploaded the transcript for this episode. I almost always do. It is on GameGrammar.com. I have a link in the description for this video right now, so you can go ahead and check it out. And also, don't be afraid to ask questions. If you're watching live, you can do it in the chat during the stream, or if you are not watching live, you can leave them as a comment, or you can even tweet at us. All of them are great ways to get it across. So, without further ado, let us begin. It has been a while since we played this game, but we are here in Ohana Town. And we are gonna go to Ohana Bokujo, which is like Ohana Farm or Ohana Ranch. So, let's get going. Did I talk to this guy earlier? Bokujo de hataraku minna Pokemon shobu ga daisuki. Okay, so this is pretty simple. So you know when you ga ski something, so Pokemon shobu ga ski. That's just like you like it. You know, ski is kind of like it's just like this is one of your pretty basic lessons. And same works for daisuki. The ga is just it's like it marks the subject of a sentence, and it's a little more forceful than a wa. So sometimes you'll even see where a wa normally would be, it'll be replaced with a ga, or things like that. But in this case, it's being used to kind of mark a secondary subject of the sentence. So in this case, the wa subject of the sentence would be the bokujo de hataraku minna. So hataraku is just to work, hataraku. And bokujo, as I said earlier, is ranch or farm, and the de is just like where it happens. So these are the minna, the everyone who works at the ranch. Bokujo de hataraku minna wa, it's hidden there. You know, he's hiding it. He's being sneaky. What about those people? Pokemon shobu ga daisuki. They really, really, really like Pokemon battles. So we better watch out for that, I guess. Get some action. First things first, everybody. Old lady action. Yoku tabe, yoku neru. Ato wa hodoyoku shobu ne. So, yoku comes from like like good, drunkenness, yeah. But it means like so it's kind of like when we have our kataku naru, which is like the hardened attack, or tsuyoku naru, to become strong. Yoku is like in a good way. So like yoku tabe and yoku neru is like saying to eat well, to sleep well. Taberu is to eat, neru is to sleep. You know, it's just like, to do something in a good way. And then atawa. So atawa is just like after. Ato just means after, and atawa is kind of our like subject sentence. So the subject is something that is happening after you've eaten well and you've slept well. Hodoyoku shobu ne. So this yoku's the same one. Hodo means like degree or extent. So you are doing something to a degree that is good, that is sufficient. So when you see hodoyoku, though, you're going to usually end up translating it as like a proper or properly, rightly, moderately. Hodoyoku. So, you know, to a good degree, properly. So atawa, after you've eaten well and you've slept well, you properly shobune, battle. You gotta do some battles. That's the life of a Pokemon trainer, everybody. Daniel Hagstrom is like, oh no. Daniel Hagstrom says that he cannot hear anything besides noise, but Salmon Taxi, who's also in the chat, says the stream is fine. Hope that works out. Let me play with some levels a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like messing with things once the stream's already begun unless I know it's not working. Okay, Daniel got it working. Okay, good. We all good. Madamu no Mitsue ga shoubu o shikakete kita. These old people in Pokemon games, they've always got some crazy stuff. Oh, Carbink. Yeah. This is probably gonna run through my team. I feel so bad, but it probably is. I can't... Okay, let's try this. Waru dakimi. So remember, waru comes from warui, bad. Dakimi is like Oh. Is it not showing up? Does it show up like that? Yeah, Wari Takumi. See, sinister design, tricky. Maybe Takumi shows up? Was that my issue? I've only ever seen it as Wari Takumi. I've never actually seen the word Takumi on its own. Skill and cleverness. Okay. Okay, Denki Shoku. Cross my fingers. I hope this does a lot, because Merashi is a pain. Katakunaru. So katakunaru, as I just said earlier, that's katai is hard or solid or rigid or stiff. So when you katakunaru, you are, so naru is to become, so you're becoming that thing, katakunaru. Tenkishoku. Yes. Okay, this is good. This is good. Paralysis is good. Wazaga dette something. I can't remember. Can't read it that fast. This is my big chance, everybody. Iwa otoshi. Oh, that's hard. Ah, no. Okay. That's tough. That's tough. Okay. So, it's a rock type, which means that half of my team is weak to it. That's great. Oh, you know what? Makunoshita should do just fine. Ato sukoshi da. Sukoshi. Dou suru? Neko damashi. Okay. Hirunde waza ga dasenai. So, you know, dasu, dasenai. Kaifuku no kusuri. So kaifuku is like restoration, and kusuri is just medicine. Oh my goodness, it was a full restore. Old people, dude. Old people. This is like, oh my goodness. And I think the Z crystal on Makunoshita is the normal type one still. Yeah. Ugh. I should have put the fighting type Z crystal on him. Katakunaru o tsukatta. This is rough. Whoa, I missed what that was. Kougeki ga agatta. That was probably sharpened then. Kougeki ga agatta. That was uchi otoshi? So uchi is like hit. And then otoshi is like drop. I don't know what that move that is in English. Iwa otoshi, that's just like a rock throw. Salmon says there's a dude in Fire Emblem named Takumi. He's an archer with high skill stats. Well, there you go. Fire Emblem is just the hot biz. I can't play it. It gets me too stressed out. Pokemon gets me too stressed out. Let's be real. I have a weak constitution, everybody. もうお腹いっぱい。これ以上戦えないわ。Did I say 戦えない? It's 戦えない. Sorry about that. So お腹いっぱい. So いっぱい, we've talked about this. I think we talked about this in Animal Crossing. It's just like, it says 1 cup, but it's like お腹いっぱい. Onaka is your stomach. Onaka. And if your stomach is 1 cup, your stomach's like too full. It means you're full from food. You had enough. So mo naka ippai. You say mo like this, where it's like already, kind of like it already happened. So I'm already full. Wow. Kore ijo. So ijo means like more than. So where is it? Where is it? The bottom one. Of course, it's the bottom one. Ijo is like more than. So kore ijo is like more than this. So kore ijo. So more than this. Tatekaenai wa. So like you cannot battle. Tatekau becomes tatekaeru. Tatekaenai. So, you know, you cannot battle. So she can't battle any more than this because she's just so stuffed on Pokemon battles. She's just fat and sassy. It's great. Okay. So she's like, トレーナーのポケモンは、放っておいたら、育たも、yeah, sodatanai mono. Sorry. Whew. Why could I not read that? Sodatanai mono. So, Toreina no Pokemon wa. So, subject is trainers Pokemon. The Pokemon that belong to trainers. Hotte oitara. So, hotte-oku is what this is coming from. The teoku is like to do in advance in preparation for something. It literally means like to put down somewhere. Oku. But hotte-oku is like to ignore or to neglect. Hotte-oku. Oh, is it not going to show up here? I know it shows up in Jisho. It's like a pretty, it's just a set phrase. See if the right horu. I forget what the kanji for the... Oh, wait. I have the kanji. I wrote down the kanji because I'm great at that. It's, maybe hotteoku will show up. There we go. So they said a little weird. This is it wasn't working earlier because I typed hotteoku. This is hoteoku. Ho-u-te. Kind of, you know. So sometimes words are like that. It's fine. But hotteoku, to leave alone, to neglect. So, and when you have this oku becomes itara, that's kind of one of our conditional forms, like if this happens. It's used a little more for things that could have already happened, and you're kind of talking like hypothetical situations-ish. It's less scientific, more circumstantial, I would say. But it's if. So if it's neglected, sodatanai mono wa, oh my goodness, why did I say the wa there? Sodatanai mono. So, sodatanai, sodatsu is like to be raised, to raise a child. Sodateru, yeah, to be raised, to be brought up. So sodatanai mono is like in this case she's saying this won't be raised, but it's also like it won't grow strong, it won't like mature properly. So you know, if you neglect them, they won't grow up is kind of the idea. They won't grow up, they won't grow properly. Atashi wa gohan tabetara. So same exact tara phrase. So we've got, instead of toreina no Pokemon wa, it's atashi. Atashi means I. So this whole sentence is like a mirror image of what came before, at least for the first half. So atashi replaces Pokemon no toreina. So now she's talking about herself. Gohan tabetara. So if I eat food, or, well, see, this is what I was getting to. It's not quite normal conditional because, as I said, it's not, I would not translate that as if I eat food. This is kind of the second use of it, where a lot of the times it can be like, if this happens, then it doesn't happen. But she's being like, I ate a bunch of food, and then this other thing happened. She's kind of telling a like sequential story. So gohan tabetara. Gohan technically means like rice, but it's a stand-in for meal because all of your meals should have cooked rice if you're doing it correctly, you know. And tabetara, taberu. So then she's saying, shizen to yoko ni sodatchau no ni. So shizen is nature, like natural. So shizen to is like it naturally happened with nature, kind of. Yoko ni. So yoko is sideways or like horizontal. So I'd say the most common time you ever see yoko ni is when you're saying like yoko ni naru, which actually might show up here because it's super common. It's like to lay down. You can use like, I guess it's not in the dictionary, but yoko ni naru. It's like to lay down, like laying down on a bed or on a couch. A lot of like, it's a little bit of a euphemism for like taking a nap or going to sleep. You're like, yeah, I went sideways. I became sideways. I took a nap. But this is not yoko ni naru. This is yoko ni sodatchau. So that's coming from the sodatsu again. Sodatsu, to be raised. So yoko ni sodatchau. Remember, that's our teishimao becomes chau. So it's a casual little bit of regret. So she's like, I raised horizontal, I raised sideways, no ni, is like a despite that. So the idea here is this, I had to read this like 10 times. It was really embarrassing before I could figure it out. Because I was like, wait, she's raised sideways? What does that mean? No, it means like she's growing horizontally, like she's getting fat, everybody. She's like, okay, so gohan tabetara, I ate food, and then shizen to yoko ni sodatchau no ni. So I grew sideways, I grew horizontally, I got fat. You know, it's how it kind of goes. Oh no, True Animations says it's like 11:25 in Austria. Will I upload the stream as a video? Yeah, all the streams are uploaded as videos. Like, you can go back and watch them all, yo. I'm sorry that this is not the best time. I'm actually going to be hosting a poll tomorrow for the duration of the summer because of how my schedule works. I'm probably going to be doing Pokemon streams on Tuesday. Animal Crossing will still be on Thursday. And I was going to be holding a poll tomorrow to see what times people would be able to show up. Because my schedule's a little bit flexible in the late afternoon. I could kind of shift it around a bit. So yeah. Oh, Tree Animations is asking just a very direct question. Could you maybe tell me what nandayo means? I hope I'm allowed to ask. So when you're being like, nandayo, it's kind of like, okay, so nan comes from nani. This is just complete, this is not going on in the game, just in case people are watching this afterwards and they can't read the stream chat, someone's asking it. So nan comes from nani. It's like what? So when you're being like, nandayo, it's kind of be like, what are you, like, it's usually like, what is that? But it's, I'd say contextually, a lot of the time, it's kind of like, what are you doing? Like, what the heck is going on here? You're like, nandayo. It literally just is like, nani da yo. The yo just makes it a little more forceful. The da also does it a little bit. Nandayo. You're just kind of be like, what is that? What are you doing? Why are you doing that? Like, it's just kind of like, what? You can't, you're just exasperated. You're like, I don't get it. That's what you're saying. Nandayo. I mean, it's one of those things that's so vague that you really do have to pay attention to the context too. Like, as I was saying, it's kind of it just means what. Like, it could be what is that? It could be like, what are you doing? Depending on the context. Although I guess if it's for what you're doing, I'd say normally you'd hear more of like a nani yatten no? Stuff like that. It's contextual. Different people say different things. That's the best explanation I can come up with off the top of my head, I guess. I don't know. Alright, back to the game. So, yoku ni sodaccau no ni. So she's like, oh, I got fat. I ate too much and I got fat. She doesn't look too fat. I don't know. Ohana bokujo, momo hiroba. So, ohana bokujo, yet again, ohana is, it means family. Ohana means family, everybody. And bokujo is like ranch. So, momo hiroba. So hiroba, if you type it in, it's going to tell you it's like a plaza. But I would not call this a plaza. So the kanji honestly just mean like wide location, which I think the way it's used usually becomes plaza when you're translating it. But as you can see here, doesn't always mean plaza. I guess, what would I call this in English? I'm not a super ranchy farmy guy. I'd call it like a pasture. I'd call it a fenced-in area. That's not a word for it. What else would you call this? Grazing grounds? I don't know. Ranchy friends, if you know things about ranches, let me know. Like, I don't say like field. Like, you just say, yeah, this is the part of the ranches is the momo field. The momo is it's like moo. It's referring to the to Miltank. Is Miltank called momo in Japanese? I can't remember right now. It's something like that. Anyways, shimameguri no trainer-san, nice timing da na. So, beginning is just like pretty, is shimameguri no trainer-san. That is a trainer, trainer-san, who is affiliated with the island tour, shimameguri no. It's a island tour trainer. So I'm someone going on the island tour. Nice timing da na. That's nice timing. You know, you've got good timing, kid. And Dana's kind of like, don't ya, a little bit. Like, he's like, yeah, go buddy. こっちにおいで、ちょうどキャプテンがいるんだな、だよ. So, おいで is it's a very casual way of telling someone to like, follow me, you know? It might even show up here. Yeah, おいで, come here, follow me. And こっちに is like, towards this direction, こっち. You can also hear like, こちら, そちら, こっち, そっち. And then ちょうど. Chodo is a little bit interesting. If you look it up, it means like exactly or definitely, just right. But I feel like it's used a little more broadly than that. You can't just literally translate it. Like, I wouldn't say, there's exactly a captain here. Captain ga iru. That just means there is a captain. Captain ga iru. You wouldn't say, there is exactly a captain here in English. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But what helps, like, is if you look at other uses of chodo, like, there's a phrase chodo ima, which doesn't show up here, which is, like, just right now. So it's like, there's a captain here right now, kind of, or, like, you're just in time, just in time, because there's a captain here. Like, there's definitely a captain here. Like, you gotta come on. I don't know, this is one of those hard things that's, like, you can't translate it word for word. You've got to get the feeling in, and then you've got to translate it. So, ちょうどキャプテンがいるだよ. Let's go. Michael Cugley says paddock, a field or paddock. Oh, paddock. I would never have come up with that word on my own. Oh, lime green technique, a pen. See, thank you, everybody. This is a pen, this is a paddock, a field. Negative Brillers here. Glad to see that streams keep coming. I'm glad that I can make the streams keep coming. Ah, look, it's Mao. She's like, Maido domo. So, I think last time we talked to her, we talked about how this is kind of it's a very restaurant-y term. That's kind of like, what is she saying? It's just like, thanks for coming. Like, how did they translate this in English? I know I looked it up because I thought it was interesting. I think she said, like, thanks for coming in English. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check. But that's the idea. It's like, thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your continued, like, coming to us idea. Because, get it? She's a cook. She does cooking things. お花牧場のモモミルク、コクがあって. So, momo milk, that's a moo milk in English. I'd say that's a pretty good translation. And this is the moo milk from or of お花牧場のmomo milk. Koku ga atte. So last time we saw I think we saw koku in a couple episodes ago, and it said it was cook. But this koku's different. When you have a koku ga aru, it's like a richness or lushness for your food. It might even be in here. Koku. I don't see it in here. I know sometimes it's written with the thickness kanji, which is an interesting idea because it's like, if it's thick, if it has a thickness to it, koku ga atte, then it's like there's a complexity of flavors, which makes sense. Like if you're saying it has a richness or lusciousness, it's a very similar idea. And I know it's written with those kanji sometimes, but I think it's usually written with just the katakana, koku ga atte. So it has a richness, and then ホワイトソースとか作ると言葉にできない味になるの. So, ホワイトソース is white sauce. とか, that's like our etc. So things like white sauce. What are we going to do with things like white sauce? 作ると. So, 作る is to create or to make. And 作る, and 作ると. So, if you are making things like white sauce, ホワイトソースとか作ると言葉にできない味になるの. So, this is our ni naru. It becomes something. It becomes an aji, which is a flavor. So, aji ni naru. You wouldn't really say aji ni naru in English, but ni naru is a lot more broadly applicable in Japanese than it is in English. It just means, like, it comes to have this thing in this case. It comes, like, it will have a great flavor, and it becomes that. So, it's just emphasizing that it's a process of transformation, kind of. It doesn't start... Well, I mean, I'm sure it starts with a good flavor, but it becomes, like, exceptional. And she says, how exceptional is this flavor? Kotoba ni dekinai. So dekinai is cannot do, dekiru, dekinai, cannot do, and kotoba ni dekinai. So kotoba is, like, language, words. So kotoba ni dekinai is saying, like, you're at a loss for words, basically. So kotoba ni dekinai aji ni naru no. So it's, like, has a flavor that, like, in a flavor that's impossible to describe. There we go. That's a way to say it. Got some people. Salmon Taxi is like, 日本語のニュアンスが難しくて面白いと思います. In reference to how nandayo is used. Yeah. Lime Green Technique says, indescribably good flavor. There we go. I like that. I like that. Look, they're all dancing too. そうだ、せっかくの再会だし、あなたにいいことを教えてあげる。So, so そうだ, that's like our そうですね. You know, it's like, oh, that's right. That's right. So, せっかく, we've seen this a couple times before. It's like kind of like a long-awaited or like hard one. Like you had to work hard for this. So, せっかく. Which one is it? With trouble, at great pains. There we go. So, せっかくの再会. So, 再会, if you know your kanji, it's super easy because 再 is like a second time and kai is meeting. So, 再会 is a second meeting, reopening, that's not it. I like the other saikais. Where is it? It should be in here. Saikai. As always, it's the bottom one. Another meeting. Saikai. So, せっかくの再会だし. So, the dashi is just like, the da. It's not from dasu. It's da, like desu. So, like, it is. So, this is our long-awaited second meeting. And the shi kind of gives a reason. So, she's carrying on. So, like, this is our long-awaited reunion. And therefore, あなたにいいことを教えてあげる. So, 教えて is like to teach. And あげる is to give. So, she's like, she's going to teach and give you something. What is it going to be? It's an いいこと. A good thing. She's just going to give me something good. That's all I want in life. トムのライドギアに、ムーランドが登録された. Mooland is, English name, Stoutland. It's the big beardy dog. 登録. 登録 is one of those great words. I'm sure I said this last time, but it's one of those great words to know in Japanese. You should be able to recognize it because it's everywhere on the internet. You always got a 登録 for stuff. 登録 your little hearts out. ムーランドはね、地面に埋まっていって見えない道具を見つけてくれるす。So, let's just start from the back. I love starting from the back. 道具を見つけてくれる. So, he is, like, it is 見つける to discover. くれる is like, yet again, to kind of give. 道具を is our tools. So it's like, you're going to discover tools. What kind of tools are they? Well, they are 見えない tool, a 道具. They're tools you can't see. They are 地面に埋まっていて. So 地面 is like ground surface. So it's just like 地面に, when you talk about ground surface, it's just like the dirt, in the dirt. And then 埋まる, like that is to be buried. So 埋まっていて, so 地面に埋まっていて is like buried underground or in the dirt. Not like too far underground. Like you don't have to get like a shovel out or anything, but you know, you can't see them. So 地面に埋まっていって見えない道具を見つけてくれるす. So, Mooland will find, like, you know, will discover items that are buried in the dirt and you can't see them. And he'll give them to you. So great. B ボタンでムーランドサーチってのがライドの合言葉ね. So 合言葉 is the first time I heard this word, I did not see the kanji. And I thought it was ai, like, what did I think it was? Yeah, I thought it was like love. I was like, what? Loving words? That's weird. No, it's aikotoba is like, as you can see with these kanji, it's like joined together words. And it's like your password or your like catchphrase or like, you know, it's your special word phrase that you use. So this is raido no aikotoba. It's like, that's what you got to use for this ride Pokemon. Murando Sachi. That's it. That's what it is. The te no ga is just kind of like, that's quoting it and then kind of saying, and then she's like distancing it a little bit. Like she's encapsulating that whole thing and making it the subject. So that whole phrase, the bi botan de murando sachi te no ga, and that whole thing is raido no aikotoba ne, which is pretty rough for a ride kotoba. Oh, Salmon Taxi says Toka's a new one. I only knew of Ya. I would have elaborated more. I feel like we've done it a couple times. Yeah, Toka's great. It is very similar to the Ya when you're listing things. But and also especially because it's as you could see, it was not an exhaustive list. She just gave us one thing. I'd have to look into how it's different than Ya, if it's different at all. Sometimes it's just like you say different things. Toka. Yeah, so she was like a howaito sauce toka tsukuru to. That's how that came up. I'm going to take these like Toko wa あ、ドルクのところは台所。ドルクのところ。ドルク? Sorry, I'm reading things in the chat. Doruku. Was that a typo? I know Doro's like mud. Doro? I'm sorry, Lime Green Technique. I have no clue what a Doruku is. You've got to help me. Okay, anyways, back to the game. Mazu wa. So Mazu is always just like first off. So first off, raido shite tameshite yo. So raido shite is like you ride him, and then tamesu is like to try it out or to attempt. So tameshite is like so you ride him and try it out. You know, you get on top of him, you ride him and try out the digging function. Atari ni mo. So even in this area, so atari ni, like around here. Atari is like vicinity, kind of in the neighborhood. So atari ni mo. So even in this area, iru iru ochiteru shi. So it's yet again this she is just like the last one she used when she was like dashi. It's kind of giving a reason. And so what is it? Well, iru iru, various things, ochiteru shi. So various things have been dropped. This ochiteru. And this is one of those like weird quirks about Japanese versus English, where in English, as you heard me, I said things have been dropped. Like that was a past tense thing. But in Japanese, that's a continuous thing. That is their continuous state. So you wouldn't say ochita mono. That is a ochiteru mono, like a thing that is currently in the state of being dropped because it's still on the ground. And because of that, we're going to get on Muland and we're going to go find some of them. 5番道路を抜けたところのせせらぎの丘に私の友達。So, 5番道路 is just Route 5. 抜けたところ. So, ところ is place. 抜ける is like to like kind of like go through, kind of to come out, to fall out. Yeah. So, 抜けたところ, if you 5番道路を抜けたところ, that's the place. Just like you go through Route 5 and you reach this place. And what is this place? It is the Seseragi no Oka. So Oka is hill and Seseragi is like brooklet. Seseragi doesn't show up here, of course. Thank you, J-Lookup. But it's a like brooklet hill. So, and that's I think literally what they called it in English, if I remember. So Seseragi no Oka ni Atashi no tomodachi, tomodachi's friend, Atashi no is my. So she's like, if you go through Route 5, there is Brooklet Hill, where my friend Suiren ga iru kara ne. My friend Suiren's there. Yoroshiku. Yoroshiku. So, you know. That's just the end of it. Whew, okay. Let's talk to some people. Let's get some items. ムーランドは地面に埋まっていて見えない道具を So this is pretty similar to what she said earlier, which is just 地面に埋まっていて見えない道具 So the items that are buried in the ground and we cannot see them 見つけ出してくれるんだぜ So the only difference is instead of 見つけてくれる he includes the extra 出す So he's 見つけ出して That's like he finds them and he gets them out and then he gives them to you instead of just he finds them and gives them to you. So, you know, very, very useful. Oh, let's get on him. Murando Sachi. Oh, I think yeah. We got some Moo Moo milk, yo. That'll be great for my Pichu when it dies in battle again. Yeah. Oishii mizu, delicious water. Great. I need delicious water. Pokemon Center のカフェスペースでもらえるポケ豆ってね. So, the cafe space in the Pokemon Center, or that, it's the possessive no. So you could even say like the cafe space that belongs to the Pokemon Center or that is affiliated with the Pokemon Center, like, you know. I would just say the cafe space that is in the Pokemon Center. So at that place, もらえる pokemame te ne. So the pokemame, they poke beans. Mame means bean, like mameshiba. So the poke beans that you can receive, moraeru, comes from morau. So about them, the te, like, yet again, it's like our quotation te, but in this case, it's almost like she's just saying wa. So, pokemame wa, poke risotto de toreta mono nano. So, toreru, well, toru is just like to take. And as you can see here, there's a whole ton of different kanji for your different nuances. It's like this top one is to take with the nuance of stealing. There's to take a photo. And then this third one is the one we're looking at here. You got to match the kanji. It's to adopt. No. This one's just more like a general like pick up kind of. To pick fruit is the second one on here. Can I actually scroll by and see it? No, I cannot. But you know, so you can pick up the beans where? Poke risotto de. So toreta mono. So it's a, you know, it is a thing that was picked up. Mono's just thing. So it is a thing that was picked up. Toreta mono. Nano. So the nano is just kind of like an explanatory kind of thing. She's giving you explanation. She's giving you information. What's poke risotto? That is poke pelago in English. And we'll get there. I think we have to get Charizard before we're allowed to go there. Which is sad, because, like, otherwise, you know I'd be all about micromanaging my beans, everybody. This would not be a Pokemon stream. It would be a bean micromanagement simulator podcast. Not podcast, I'm sorry. Stream. What Tree Animation's asking, what translator do I use? This is all in my FAQ. I've got a FAQ. I think it's listed in the description below. But this dictionary is JLookup. It's pretty great. It's pretty lightweight. So, like, if you... I know, I like having things that work without internet connection, just in case my internet goes down. Not that it goes down that frequently, but it's nice to not have to rely on the internet if you need to not. But on the internet, I use Jisho. Jisho's better, has more features, more updated dictionary. Use Jisho. But this is JLookup. Daniel's leaving now. See you, Daniel. Thanks for coming by. All right. Let's see this. Oh, this girl. I was, she stumped me. This was one of the things that when I was going through this to prep for the stream just completely got me. So I want to walk through it because I think it is interesting. So maiasa. Maiasa is just every morning. You know, it's mai, like mainichi, and asa, every. So maiasa, kimatta jikan ni. So jikan is time. And kimaru is like to be decided. So kimatta jikan ni is like at a decided point in time. Kerarappa ni okoshite morau no. So okosu is like to wake up. It's see, there's a bunch of them. See, to cause, but it's also to wake up. So okoshite morau no. So kimatta jikan ni okoshite morau no. So like at a decided time, she's woken up by what? Kerarappa. So kerarappa is trumbeak. Trumbeak. That was one thing that really threw me off because I tried dictionarying it. I don't think it's in this dictionary. This is one of the other dangers of using Jisho, is that it does have such a like wide source material that sometimes it'll find things for like kerarappa, even when it's not what you're looking for. Yeah, this doesn't have it in here. I think Jisho told me it was like mole cricket, and I was trying to run with that for a while. I was like, okay, you know, she's woken up by the mole crickets. They make noise. I guess that makes sense. No, kerarappa is just trumbeak. She's got a trumbeak and it wakes her up at a fixed time every single morning at the time they decided. So, kimatta jikan ni kerarappa ni okoshite morau no. Demo ne, however, twist. Anoko. Anoko is talking about trumbeak. Anoko zurushite. So, zurui is like to be tricky, to cheat. If you're like I dealt with this word a lot when I worked in Japan, because I worked with kids, and then every time I'd be playing a game, they'd be like, zurui, zurui yo. It's like, yeah, I'm cheating. You know, whatever. I didn't cheat against them too often, don't worry. It just when it was really funny. And I always fessed up at the end. I never let myself get away with it. I think that's important. But anyways, anoko zurusite, tonari no mezamashi doke de okiteiru no ne. So, what threw me off was I was thinking that the topic changed to the trumbeak. Like the trumbeak was the zurui one, the trumbeak was tricking her, and then the rest of the sentence didn't make any sense. This is one reason why you really like the she's still talking about herself though. Like, she is still the one who's at the end of this sentence waking up. It's 私は起きてる, you know? So you gotta be careful with all that stuff. Which is why I really try to emphasize, like, your topics and making sure you know what your topic is. Because even I mess it up sometimes. So, she's still talking about herself, but she's saying, あの子, like, をずるして. Like, I trick that little kid, and 隣の目覚まし時計で, so by the means of, this day is like by the means of, not at the location. 目覚まし時計 is a clock, 時計 is clock, and 目覚まし is wake up, so it's an alarm clock. 時計, 目覚まし時計, see, alarm clock. And 隣の is like a neighbor, so, you know, 隣のトトロ, my neighbor Totoro. 隣の目覚まし時計で, so with my neighbor's alarm clock, 起きてるのね, I wake up. So she's saying, every morning at a decided time, my Trumbeak wakes me up. Except actually, I'm playing a trick on him. I wake up with the alarm clock. And, you know, I don't know. Like, it was just kind of one of those things that, like, it tripped me up and I got in that rut. So if things don't make sense to you, diagram your sentence or something. I don't know. That was kind of my lesson, was make sure you know what the subject of the sentence is to make sure it makes sense, because you've got to have it line up. And sometimes the really obvious and stupid answer is the answer, you're just not thinking of it. So, teachable moments for yourselves. Yeah, Salmon Taxi's like, Zurui is going on the old vocab list. It is super useful. Super duper 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 useful. I love Zurui. All right. Let's see if there's any more items around here. Then we gotta get out, because we've been playing for 40 minutes and there's one more thing I want to do. トムは虫除けスプレーを見つけた. Okay. That's just repel. So yokeru is like to avoid. So mushi yoke is like, it's just repel. Pokemon 育てますか? So this one is another one that tripped me up, because I wasn't thinking. So many things tripped me up this week. But, you know, learning moments. So, sodateru is to raise, to bring. For some reason, it's like sodatsu, but instead of sodatsu is like, it can happen to you, but sodateru is like o, you do it to something. So this would be Pokemon o sodatetemasu ka? For some reason, I saw the extra te, and because it's a like sodatsu, I was thinking tsu becomes te for like potential forms. I was like, can you train Pokemon? Which doesn't totally not make sense. But it's the te form. It's this te form. It's sodateru becomes sodatetemasu, or sodateteru. The ru becomes an extra te. Yet again, basic things. Take your time, everybody. Don't rush through things. So, Pokemon sodatetemasu ka? Are you raising your Pokemon? Yet again, this is with the implication, like, kind of like, are you taking good care of them, sort of, that the lady had earlier. This is Pokemon Breeder no Masao. Dorobanko o kuridashita. Look at that little Dorobanko. So, have we seen him yet? Doro means mud. Mud. And I actually don't know what Banko means. Ko is like little kid. Banko, all out, no. It's probably some pun with like a donkey. Roba is donkey. There we go. So the ba is from horse. Okay. So doroba is just like donkey, but also like mud. And then the ko is just like kid. I wonder if banko means anything then. Wait, I tried that already. Maybe the n's just there for it to be a little cuter. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Oh, good thing I didn't heal Pichu, because now Abari's in a good position to not deal with this guy. Okay. I'm going to Shibire Gona. So Gona comes from Kona. It's like flour powder. So it's our powder moves, and Shibire is like a numbing. So, you know. Ooh. This was, that's magnitude, I think. I don't know. I can't remember. It's something. Okay, so the move I should use now, I'm going to use Drain Kiss. Dorain Kissu. I'm so tempted to use Suitoru, which is absorb, but it's super weak. Even though it's super effective, it's only like 20 base power or something. Like, who has time for that? I don't have time for that. Check it. Check it. 体力を吸い取った. I should probably actually pay attention when he's using his moves so I can read them, but I haven't been doing it. It was bulldoze. Okay, thank you, Reg. Translation says, is it more common to hear mezamashite or aramu? I don't know. You could, if you have questions like this, you could straight up Google and find out which one has more results. So, mezamashi doke, or mezamashi toke, I'm sorry, and aramu. Aramu might be more like multi-use, like, you know, I set an alarm on my phone, kind of. This is just complete me thinking off the top of my head. I don't actually know, but it's just like me guessing. If I had to guess, alarm is more generic. It's you know, I set an alarm on my phone. While mezamashi toke is a, like, you wake up in the morning to it, you know. But that's just a guess. Don't please don't quote me on that. 育てるてお世話以外に才能を引き出すことかい? So 育てるて, yet again, he's talking about the entire, like, it's this quotation. It's also kind of the topic of our sentence with the te, because it's we use te as a quotation. But so he's talking about 育てる. He's talking about the entire action and concept of raising Pokemon. 育てる. And what is he thinking about? Well, お世話以外に. So 以外 is like more than. It's the same as we saw the 以上, which was like this amount, but then more than that. 以外 is a little bit similar, but 以外, so that's gai, like outside of soto, gaijin. So 以外 is like, you know, with the exception of, it's, yeah, so it's like saying accepting. So it's like, yeah, it's like, we're talking about outside of this. So he's saying the whole action of raising someone. And osewa, so osewa is a pretty common idea in Japanese. When people are saying kind of farewells, like you're not going to see them for a long time, you'll hear like osewa ni narimashita a lot, like you changed my life kind of thing. And sewa, like it's just like looking after, help, aid, but it's like in a big way. So he's saying, お世話以外に. So like, he's kind of saying, except for, like, well, so if you describe it straight up, he's like, accepting for just general, like, helping and aiding your Pokemon. It's this other thing too, maybe. That's the kai at the end is a question, so we know it's going to be a question. I would even say, like, more than just, like, raising the Pokemon and changing their life. And then, so what is it more than just that? I don't know, that's, what I just said though, that's starting to put like words in the mouth. I'm a little split. I'd have to think about which one I like more. But it is, igai ni is just like, it's putting this osewa, like helping and aid, in a special category, and it's saying like, we'll talk about that later, but we're talking about this other thing that is also part of sodateru. And what he's talking about is saino o hikidasu koto. So koto is like thing. So he's talking about this whole range of experiences that are encapsulated by this idea, which is saino. So saino is like talents, abilities. So saino o hikidasu. So hiku is like to pull, and dasu is like to pull them out. So hikidasu is like to pull them out, kind of like to express them almost. So saino o hikidasu koto is like to bring out their abilities, to bring out the best in them. So he's saying like to raise Pokemon, like it's not just, yeah, it's not just about like helping them out and like treating them nice. It's also about bringing out the best in them and bringing out the best of their abilities. Maybe kai. So he's rethinking his life. We have just changed this man's life with our little fairy bug because it kicked his little muddy buddy's butt. Pokemon, yo. 不思議な生き物がジルガールデキューブに吸い込まれた. So, you know, we got the mysterious life form, the 不思議な生き物, and ジガルデキューブに in the Zygarde cube 吸い込まれた. It was sucked up into it. Wild battles. Yeah, Michael Cugley saying other than. Yeah. Yo, Teddy! Oh, so cute. It looks like it puked on itself. I know a lot of people. I guess this is more. A lot of my friends don't like Gen 5 Pokemon, but I think the Gen 5 Pokemon are adorable. Dorain Kisu. Like, look at that little nerd. Kamitsuku Kogeki. He bit me. He bit me. I'm gonna catch it, just in case anyone's wondering what's going on. Tsuburanai Hitomi. So, did I talk about this one? Tsuburanai is like to close the eyes. Yeah, tsuburu. So Tsuburanai is like eyes that don't close, and Hitomi is like pupils. So it's like the pupils of the eyes that don't close, and it's like, oh gosh. Ugh. Pokemon is like, I don't know if that one's move's supposed to be cute or unsettling, because I definitely find it unsettling. Monstaboru. Otsukatta. Yatta! Yoteri o tsukumaeta zo! Yoteri no data ga atarashiku Pokemon Zukan ni toroku saremasu. So, atarashiku is like newly, toroku saremasu is like a newly registered Pokemon Zukan ni in the Pokedex. And what has been newly registered in the Pokedex? Yoteri no data. Yoteri's data. Look at that little dork. Cool. 捕まえたのはどんなポケモンが調べろと? Alright, I'm already going to say I'm not going to be able to fully translate this, but let's read it. キャンキャン吠えたりしないので、マンション暮らしのトレーナーに人気の高いポケモン. So, 高い is like high, but it's also expensive. So, 高い Pokemon. This is an expensive Pokemon that is popular with trainers that live in mansions. So, mansion kurashi. It's not mansions, though. I'm sorry. Wow, that was like almost a big flub. When they say mansion, they don't mean a like mansion like we think. It's like an apartment. So, and that's because it's a little guy. That's a little Pokemon. So because of that, mansion kurashi no trainer ni. So a trainer that kurashi is like lifestyle. So mansion kurashi is like a apartment lifestyle for trainers who are living in apartments. Mansion kurashi no trainer ni ninki no takai Pokemon. So ninki is like the kanji are obviously like person and energy. Just means popular. I don't know where it came from, but that's what it means. Maybe you could think it's like the energy of all the people coming together on this one thing because it's very popular. But don't quote me on that one because I just made that up right now. It's popular. So it's a ninki no takai Pokemon. So it's a popular, expensive Pokemon for trainers who live in apartments because it's so small and cute. Kyan. So the hoeru, that's the kanji we see right at the top line, means to roar, like, to bark. So hoetari shinai no de. So hoetari shinai, when you have this tari, you can list verbs as well. So kind of like yan toka, there's an implicit list of other things. So hoetari shinai, so it's not going to be barking a lot, shinai no de, and because of that, it is a popular, expensive Pokemon for trainers who live in apartments. Oh, well, we did pretty much all except for Kyan. I have no clue what Kyan is. It's probably just an onomatopoeia for the barking. Like, Kyan. That's my guess. It could mean something else. Up above, it's a Koinu Pokemon, which I think is the same species as Growlithe or Gardy, as we saw earlier. It just means a puppy. Ko is like kid, and Inu is dog, so Koinu. Cool. ニックネームつけますか? いいえ。ボックスへ送る. Gonna send it to the box. We'll check it out later. 転送しました. Is that 転送? Yeah, 転送しました. Oh my goodness, we've been playing for an hour. I did not get to where I didn't get to where I wanted to go, but I have to go because I've been playing for an hour. Okay, last battle. Last battle. I'll see if we had any other thing. Salmon agrees. Gen 5 had great Pokemon. Thank you, Salmon. You've got good taste. I like Gothitelle because she looked like she was designed with the shape tools in MS Paint. Oh no! I'm not sure if that was a low blow or not. I mean, kind of. I think Gothitelle's a really interesting design, actually. Ooh, I don't know. All right, so this is gonna be our last battle, and then I'm gonna save. So I'm just gonna go through the ending stuff for the day. So yet again, recap. Obviously, we learned a lot of things today. There is a transcript of all this stuff and some sneak peeks for what we're gonna do next week on the GameGrammar.com. We've got transcripts of all the Pokemon livestream episodes, actually, which is personally, I find it super duper 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 useful to go through them and just like translate them line for line and make sure. And you know, if you have a question about one of the lines, ask me. You know, comment on this video. Comment, like, send us a tweet, send us an email, send us a message on Facebook, all that good stuff. And I'll get back to you because I translated it all. I know what it is, and some of them, you know, I had to work for it sometimes. It's not super easy all the time. Got to work, but that's how you get better. So, you know, take advantage of stuff like that. Or also, the transcripts are super good for making vocab lists. You know, you go through, you find some words that you think seem useful, or you know, you put them into Google and you look at. Oh, that's something I should do before I go. I should do the Google comparison for those two. For the it was Mezamashi Toke and Aramu. Let's do that before I close out. Anyways, my point was, you know, take advantage of things like the transcripts. They're super useful. You got to put some work in, but you get a lot of good stuff out of it. Anything else? Okay. I'm going to be streaming Pokemon. It'll be Tuesday next week. I'm going to have a poll up for times that we can do it for the rest of the summer. I'm changing to Tuesdays because it just works for my summer schedule a little bit better. My job schedule is different in the summer than it is during the rest of the year because I work at a school. So, you know, that's cool. I'll be putting up a poll. If you have distinct ideas about times that would really be good for you, tweet at me, but ultimately it is going to be about my schedule and what works for me. So I'm sorry if you live in Australia or something and it's very late at night for you. I'd love to be able to accommodate everybody, but that's just not how the world works. But, you know, even if you can't make the live streams, they are all here on the YouTube channel. So you can go back and watch Pokemon Sun from the very beginning. You can watch Animal Crossing from the very beginning. We've got a whole ton of stuff. I'm streaming Animal Crossing on Thursday. That's going to be Thursday night for me. Probably morning if you live across the ocean. I'm looking forward to it, though. Thank you all for stopping by. Tune in next week for more Game Grammar. Oh, wait. First, okay, I'm going to go to Google. Okay. 2 tabs. Can I get this? 1 second. I'm going to see if I can... Is this going to show? I don't know if this is going to show. I've done it once. I've switched things once in the middle of a stream, and it ended very poorly. So if I'm ruining everything, I'm sorry. I can't see Google Chrome on here. It's just black. Okay, well, I'll just read it out loud. So I'm straight up just Googling these words and seeing how many hits they get. So, Mezameshi Toke. Well, but Mezamashi. I'm sorry. Aramu. Yet again, though, we should probably check Jisho or something to see if Aramu has a different connotation than Mezamashi Toke. So I'm going to do that too. I'm just going to type in alarm and see what happens. So. Why won't it show? This is so peculiar. Oh, it says encoding overloaded. Okay. That was the problem. I'm going to take it off of Google Chrome then. Just back to, oopsies. There we go. Okay. Probably lagging a lot. I'm sorry. This is why I usually don't have Google Chrome open during things. Okay, so Mezamashi Toke has 45 million results, while Alarm has, like, Aramu has about 30 million results. So Mezamashi Toke is a more frequent Google search, at least, take from that what you will. And usually I would assume that also means that they say it more often in actual Japanese. I might be wrong. I don't know. Jisho, I type in alarm, just the English word alarm. It's giving me a bunch of words. Number one is keiho, which is like an alarm or a warning. So that's like a police alarm. Same with that koheiki. It's the same as keiho, but with key, the machine key for like a fire alarm, burglar alarm sensor. Then the third one is mezamashi. It's an alarm clock. Opening one eye is type of candy given to a child after it wakes up from a nap. Well, that's something new. Keiteki, horn, alarm, whistle, a horn acoustic. Keikyu, alarm. Hochiki, alarm. Hijou shingo, alarm. Mezamashi doke, alarm clock. So, Oh, was I saying toke the whole time and it's doke? Now I feel silly. I'm sorry, everybody. Oh, no. It says other forms you can say toke as well. Aramu links. You can sentence search for aramu. Let's see what pops up. I mean, you can do this on your own. I'm not going to do it and read it all on stream. So, indications would suggest, I'm going to say mezamashi toke is just a alarm clock for when you are sleeping, probably. But, well, actually, I'm going to say, look up the, okay, here we go. Wikipedia definition alarm. Yeah. You can do sentence search for it too. Yeah. Just because of the way the word is, I'm going to assume it is mostly just talking about sleep. And it is definitely more used than aramu, but both are words. But I might be wrong. I'll see if I can find out. I'll ask around a little bit and see if I can get any insight. I already did all the goodbye stuff, so I don't have to do anything else. All right, peace out. Mata ne. Thank you all for stopping by.